extensive coverage of the T20 World Cup heroes returning home after making the nation proud in the Caribbean and also lifting the T20 World Cup trophy for a second time. Team India has now returned home to a grand welcome from everyone. The visuals you see on your screens there show the excitement among the fans and also how the team is now willing to celebrate with the fans and also ensure that this memorable win is celebrated to the maximum. Now, the victorious squad will now meet the Prime Minister at his residence before they depart for Mumbai, where they will be further celebrating their success. Now, Team India will be taking part in a roadshow from Nariman Point to the Wankhede Stadium, where the BCCI will then hand over them a cheque of 125 crore rupees. Now, this is, of course, as a token of appreciation for their wonderful display at the T20 World Cup. Now, the Rohit Sharma-led side won the World Cup for the second time at the Kensington Oval on Saturday after defeating South Africa by 7 runs in a thrilling final. They had been stranded in Barbados over the last few days owing to Hurricane Beryl, but now the BCCI has ensured that it has arranged a special charter flight, not just brought the heroes back home, but also their family, the support staff, and also the media contingent that was stranded in Barbados. In fact, joining us on the broadcast to discuss this and a lot more is Chandresh Narayanan, who is an author and also a sports broadcaster, Shekhar Luthra, who's a senior sports journalist. But before, gentlemen, we start with our discussion on this incredible moment for Indian cricket. We are also being joined by my colleague Kritika, who's right at the ITC Moria. Kritika, if you can hear me right now, help us understand what's the mood like, because now in a short while, the team is also all set to meet the Prime Minister and the celebrations will then shift to Mumbai. Help us understand what's the mood right now.
Yes, Ashish, it is incredible to be here at the moment because very soon the Indian cricket team will be exiting from this gate, and I'll request our camera person to give you a zoom because a few fans have already started lining up. We saw hundreds of fans collect at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in the morning. A lot of them who had come before their offices, maybe bunking the first few hours of their shift also, and had few that had assembled late at night as well. So right now we are all eyes on the gate from which the Indian team will be exiting to meet the Prime Minister in a short while. We'd also spoken earlier to fans who had collected from different places. Some had come from Mumbai so that they can first receive the Indian cricket team at the Indira Gandhi International Airport, and then they'll again be leaving for Mumbai so they can be together with the team in the celebration that are slated to happen at the Wankhede Stadium.
Right, Kritika, you do stay there, have a good time there, of course, as the team is now also celebrating and also the fans are now slowly gathering. Let me go across to our guest today, Chandresh Narayanan. This is, of course, incredible. I understand that Indian cricket really has had great moments in the past few years now, but this is, of course, only the 4th time that we are celebrating a World Cup victory. And like my colleague just pointed out, people have skipped their offices to ensure that they welcome the team, and also some people have even flown from Mumbai just to... Right, before we go to Chandresh, now let's start with Shekhar Luthra. Chander, help us understand the visuals that you see here right now. Absolute jubilation in the national capital. Like my colleague was pointing out, some people have flown from Mumbai to welcome the team. Some people have now skipped their offices also. Just the 4th time ever that Indian fans are celebrating a World Cup win. Truly an incredible moment.
Certainly, incredible moment, because we don't see these kind of moments in India. India is not a sports country, We are not the one who brings in a lot of medals. But yes, in the last few years, or I would say, post Commonwealth Games, I think the scenario has changed. And yes, of course, cricket was a trendsetter. I still remember that 2007, when this was a T20 Cup. It was, never perceived to be the World Cup. It was a kind of something which, because IPL was coming up, so there was a kind of curtain raiser before the IPL, and everybody was not too excited. Sachin, VVS Lakshman, Virendra Sehwag, or even Saurav Ganguly, they were all, skipping that tournament in South Africa. And suddenly Dhoni came in as a captain. And when we won, Rohit Sharma was just, that time very young. And he was coming at number 6. He only debuted during that time, if I'm correct, or maybe before that. So 2007, suddenly when we become the champions, suddenly we started celebrating. The politicians came in. Obviously, Mr. Sharad Pawar was there. It was a moment of glory for everybody, because after And 1983, there was no kind of celebrations, like this in India. So we had that, long from Nariman Point to everywhere, we had that bus journey of everybody, and it became a great World Cup victory. But now truly it's a World Cup victory, because now the scenario has changed. T20 has taken over everything. The other form of crickets are almost dying. There is a debate over whether we should continue with a 50-50 over, or whether we should reduce that to 40 overs. So that's a kind of scenario right now. It's truly a great moment. But again, the politicians will come in, they will celebrate, they'll show as if, they have come up with a cup. But truly, these players deserve it.
Absolutely. Also, Chandrasekhar, Luthra, now what's more interesting is the fact that you are pointing out that how initially when India won the T20 World Cup, it wasn't something that was taken very seriously. In fact, it also is reflected by the fact that the kind of team that we sent there, it did not really have the big three names of Indian cricket as well at that time. So again, talking about this particular World Cup, I think what makes this very special is the fact that over the past 11 years, we have spoken about how India hasn't won an ICC trophy. But what's been frustrating for Indian fans is the fact that we've had really good teams. We've had incredible bowling attacks. Our batting has always been great. But we've just fallen short at the final hurdle. So it was just this long wait that was frustrating Indian fans as to why wasn't our team crossing that final hurdle. And that seems to have happened now. And we're now seeing that, of course, playing out in the open.
Well, that's the nature of T20 cricket. You can't really plan and strategize how to win these kind of, World Cups. T20 is too short. 120 balls, you have to score whatever, you have to take wickets. And, obviously your strategy, your everything, it depends on how you, perform on the ground that day. Surya Kumar Yadav catch, brilliant catch. That won you the cup also that time, because 16 runs in last 6 balls. And if that had gone for a 6, then obviously 5 balls and 10 runs, which makes a lot of sense for any team which is chasing. But again, these kind of, catches, always there is a saying in cricket, catches wins the matches. And this was a true example of what Surya Kumar has given you. But before that also, when they were needing, 30 runs of 30 balls, nobody could have judged that time, or nobody could have expected them to fall like, pins at that particular time, because they had 6 wickets in hand. It was only a run a ball. And suddenly, the scenario changed. Jasprit Bumrah struck at that particular time. The field placement was so good.
Lots of course contributions to talk about. Chandresh Narayanan joins us back. Chandra, I'll just take in a word from Chandresh as well. Chandresh, this is of course an incredible moment that we're talking about, and more so because the fact that there was of course this narrative that was said that India hadn't really won the T20 World Cup ever since the IPL started. And this was, of course, used by a lot of nations across the world to mock India, to say that India talks about how much of an impact IPL has had on Indian cricket. Well, it's not really had much, because India hadn't won a single World Cup after T20 World Cup after the IPL. But now that narrative has been set aside. Right, Chandresh, there seems to be an audio issue. My colleague Isha is joining us right now. Isha, you're out there at the ITC Moria. Help us understand the mood like right now, because of course everyone is in a celebratory mood. Earlier, Kritika was pointing out how many people have skipped their offices. Some have even flown from Mumbai to celebrate. Help us understand what's the mood like right there.
Right, Ashish, a very good morning to you. In fact, currently we're reporting from inside ITC Moria Hotel, and the environment is electric. Fans have gathered here in large numbers, queued up in large numbers. Requesting my camera person to also show you here the visuals. In fact, Jai Shah has just arrived. You can see that the cricketers will be arriving from that lift. They will be coming out shortly, and they will then go for the cake cutting ceremony. Then they will move towards 7 LKM, which is the Prime Minister's residence. In fact, you can see a player, Yashasvi, is just right on air. We can see him. He has just walked out, and he's walking towards the pavilion where the celebration will take place. You can see on our visuals exclusively fully on mirror now. We can see that this is Yashasvi Jaiswal. He has walked out, and in fact, other players are also expected to trickle in very shortly. We'll also try and get a word from the fans here and as to what they're feeling. But currently, right now, you can see this is Yashasvi. We'll try and get a word from him. How are you feeling? How are you feeling after the World Cup victory? So he is.
बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत ही प्राउड मोमेंट है।
अभी आप लोग कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं?
बहुत ही अच्छा महसूस कर रहे हैं। सबको बहुत बहुत कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन।
So this was an exclusive conversation we had. He spoke to us and he said he's feeling great about it, and he has headed to the residence, to the dining. In fact, towards the other side as well, more players are trickling in now, and we are expecting to see several more players. In fact, you can see here these two girls. They've got an autograph of Yashasvi. They're both so excited. You can see their faces. We'll get a word from them again. How are you both feeling?
It's incredible. We actually got it from Rahul Dravid as well.
Oh wow! So you both got autographs from Rahul Dravid as well.
Right.
Can you, I request my camera person also pan in and zoom so that we can also show the autographs which have been given. Oh, it's also written best wishes. So that is something that they've done. In fact, can you show us also this drawing that you've made? This is very interesting. Tell us in detail.
It's actually the picture that was clicked when they won the World Cup and posed at the camera.
And right now we can see Rohit Sharma has walked out. He did wave to the fans, and Rohit Sharma is walking out, is what we can currently see on air. And Rohit Sharma has just walked in, and you can see here the fans are extremely happy and overjoyed. They are clapping for their favorite cricketers. Ashish, the environment is electric. And we have shown the visuals as well. You can see the fans queued up in large numbers. They have gone in for the cake cutting ceremony. Back to you.
Also, Shekhar, in fact, these are live visuals that we are tracking right now of Rohit Sharma cutting the cake at ITC Moria. This is before, of course, they head to meet the Prime Minister as well. Incredible scenes being witnessed. The fans have all gathered outside the hotel as well. India's first World Cup win after 17 long years. The fans have been waiting for almost a decade now. India had been falling short of the final hurdle, losing the semi-finals, the finals on multiple ICC events. And the fans, of course, had been very patient with the team as well. We also had, in fact, managed to get one of the best teams out there in the Caribbean as well to win this World Cup. And we did manage to win it, snatch it away at the last moment from the jaws of defeat. And now this is, of course, incredible scenes that we're witnessing right now from the ITC Moria in Delhi, where the entire Indian team is. Now from here, they'll be heading to meet the Prime Minister as well. And from there, they've also got now a private charter to fly to Mumbai, where they will be celebrating with the fans from Nariman Point to Wankhede Stadium. There will, of course, be a roadshow as well that we're anticipating. So a good long day of celebration. The team is finally back in the nation after being stranded due to Hurricane Beryl in Barbados. A long wait for the fans as well, who had been waiting for the ICC trophy. And now these are the scenes from ITC Moria, where, of course, one by one, the fans will also be cutting the cake as well. Right, Chandresh Narayanan joins us back. Chandresh, incredible scenes that we're seeing there. Fans lined up. Some people have skipped their work. Some people have flown from Mumbai to Delhi just to welcome the team back home. I mean, everyone was talking about how India has not won a single World Cup, T20 World Cup after the IPL began. But now that narrative has been set aside. India finally managing to clinch a World Cup, and the celebration now breaking out across the nation.
Yeah, historic moment here, being witnessed by all of us right now. And I think it's a fantastic achievement by this team to win this trophy. And you're right, the narrative that IPL, after the IPL started, India has not been able to win the T20 World Cup, that has been set aside. And it was long overdue. I think this trophy victory was long overdue. And it is fantastic that this team has been able to achieve that after 17 long years. They came close to winning the ODI World Cup last year, but heartbreak in the final. But finally, there is something for all of us to cheer. And I think there is nothing that unites this country more than a cricket tournament victory. And I think we have once again witnessed what a cricket tournament victory means for the whole of India. Not just in India, but across the globe.
Right. Also, Chandresh, one of the important things that you're also pointing about is the fact that fans had been very patiently waiting. We were putting out good teams. We were very good on paper. We were, of course, making it to the semi-finals and the finals. But just that final hurdle, we were falling short of it. And now, finally, we breached that. And that is exactly why one of the reasons why this World Cup win is much more special than the previous ones, because this time around, we knew we had a good team, but just weren't crossing the final hurdle. And it's almost like that frustration that was building among the fans that has now been released.
Absolutely. If you look at it very closely, this side that India put out this time around was the perfect T20 combination. I think that this combination was perfect in the sense that you had long batting lineup, plenty of all-rounders, multiple bowling options, which is the ingredient for a very successful T20 side. I think we finally got the combination right, and that's why we've been able to achieve this victory. And I think full credit to the selectors, to the team management led by the outgoing head coach Rahul Dravid, and the retiring captain Rohit Sharma for believing in this combination. And that is the reason why we have a reason to celebrate right now. And I think the previous times, maybe the combination may not have been perfect. Maybe the luck didn't go India's way. But in the T20 format, I'm saying, but finally this time around, the combination was right. Everything fell in place. And I always say, it is very rare to win a T20 tournament without losing a game. And India did that because the format is so fickle. You can always end up losing a game or two along the way. But this team was unbeaten, which is a historic event in itself.
It also points out at how far Indian cricket has come, because in 1983 when we won the World Cup, we hardly had any resources. The BCCI did not really have too many resources. The buses in which the West Indies team were being carried and the Indian team were carried were also entirely different. And now from there, we've now reached a point where there's a private charter that's been arranged to get India back from the Barbados to Delhi, and now from Delhi there will be a private charter to get them back to Mumbai, where they'll be given a check of 125 crore rupees. This also shows the kind of growth that Indian cricket has witnessed over the years.
Yeah, it has. But the buses story is a bit of creative liberty that Kabir Khan has taken in this movie 83. So let's keep that aside. But the other stories about the other things about the charter and the fact that they were flown in, especially from Barbados to Delhi and from Delhi to Mumbai, that's a growth story that Indian cricket has witnessed. And the sport of cricket now is surviving on India, frankly. The sport will grow here on the basis of India, Indians, not just in India, but across the globe. And you're seeing that in the makeup of sides across the globe, where sides now have Indian immigrants or a fourth generation or third generation Indian immigrants making it to the various national sides. And this will continue for years to come. And I think this is perhaps the biggest Indian growth story or success story that you can ever witness in modern sport.
Right, a very incredible growth story there of Indian cricket as well. Shekhar, Luthra, now this is of course a question to you about the fact that India now, of course, has finally managed to crack the code as far as ICC events was concerned. Because again, T20 World Cups that we are talking about, we were obviously having great teams in the past as well, but just the approach wasn't really something that we thought kept up with the modern times. In IPL, we saw our players going hammer and tongs at all the bowlers that came across, even international bowlers. But there was something at the ICC events that we were really waiting and playing a really defensive style of play. And now that's been breached. And we saw how this time around, every single player did not really care about whether they got out or not. The motive was just to go ahead and win the match.
Well, that's the beauty of this T20. Ever since IPL has come in 2008 and in last 16 years or so, the T20 has actually evolved a lot. It was, as I was saying, there is no strategies, there is no game plans, there is only one game plan to go in, score runs, whatever happens to you, whether you lose early wickets or whether you have, something in the middle. But again, you have to score and then you have to go out and take wickets or whatever restrictions. That's the only strategy that comes into play, in T20. But yes, Indian team has improved a lot. Our fielding standards, especially, batting was always been our forte. Our bowlers, we had our own glorious moments in bowling also. But in the fielding, I think that IPL has helped everybody, not just India, but the entire world, to improve on their fielding. And obviously, then when it comes to strike rate and everything, that has improved, and that mindset has changed. Now the players come in, they just join inside and they just take their guard and start playing their shots. They don't take any balls. They don't see the wind conditions. They don't see the pitch, whatever. They go and they play. They express themselves, and that's been a big change for every team, and especially in India, because we have been playing against the world class players
Absolutely.
in
The
IPL.
standards of Indian
So
cricket, of course, have also improved. We're talking about the administration. We're talking about the cricket. Every single aspect of Indian cricket seems to have improved exponentially as well.